inner tube water polo. Hello Lutes, I'm Roselle Rosales and welcome to News at 9. It's been a while since the last News at 9, and since then, Black History Month wrapped things up with the evolution of hip-hop, a two-part exposition featuring discussion, performance, and dance. The Mass was able to join in on the experience, and here's what they learned.
When I say hip, y'all say hop. Hip, hop, hip, hop.
It gives an opportunity for ignorance to be dismissed. So it gives an opportunity for people that don't know the culture, and that's people of color as well, because everyone comes from different sectors, to get to know different parts of the culture and be able to have the opportunity to say, like, you know, there was an opportunity for you to learn that, and so now, what is your excuse now? Because a lot of people just speak like they know, but they don't know. And so I can't say I know everything there is about hip-hop because I don't. I wasn't born at that time and I didn't experience it. But for a lot of people, it's about now this is the catalyst. What can we do with this? And we can just move forward to where it doesn't happen just during Black History Month. It can be a year-round.
Rhythm is in my culture, it's in my blood, so just hip-hop is, you know, it's something that I can relate to. It's a way to express myself. And, you know, it's more than people think, you know, it's more than just the music. There's dance, the knowledge, there's so many different parts to it. And I think it's just, you know, it was an uplifting experience for sure.
So hip hop has allowed me to be the person that I am today. I'm 20 years old and I've been listening to hip hop since I was 2, growing up to Biggie, growing up to all the artists. Coming from a really small town in Los Angeles, hip-hop was something that all the students were able to connect to. And being a student of color and being someone, you know, being Latina, I was allowed to appreciate my skin and allowed to know that it's okay for me to be pretty and I don't have to be, you know, the cookie-cutter magazine girl that everyone else is.
So how it came to be was Aviance, who's one of our advisors. We have Aviance and Paul, came to BSU and was challenging us because usually when we do evolution of hip-hop, it's just a dance. And she was saying, like, hip-hop is more than just like a DJ. Like, there's other cultures and other influences in it. And so she like challenged us to like get the other aspects such as Mama C and Kamau and the step and the breakdancers to bring it all together and see what would happen. And so I was really nervous, didn't know what to expect. We had a few technical difficulties, but like it just felt like everyone was engaged and everyone was involved and everyone wanted to be there. And that's definitely different than some PLU events where people show up and they're like, this isn't really what I wanted to do. But I feel like everyone wanted to be there, so that was really cool.
Even though February is now over, swing by the D Center to see what they've got planned next. March has begun and it's Women's History Month. Many events are being planned all around campus. Last night, Harstad hosted a Women's Empowerment Night for International Women's Day. Mass TV was there to check it out.
Empowering women is something that I think is really important and really personal and unique to each individual. And I think that it's really important to take the opportunity of International Women's Day to educate everyone about what empowerment is and what different kinds of elements can empower all kinds of people.
Kind of like I mentioned today at the event, is an opportunity to give women the opportunity to talk about their different ways that they're empowered. And I think an important aspect of that for me is to recognize all different types of women, and I think sometimes the media doesn't do the best job at highlighting multiple voices and diverse women, and so that's really important to me just because I'm a Latina woman, so that's why I like putting on events like these to represent multiple perspectives and voices and stories and ways that not only we're empowered, but ways that we've come so far in the last century since International Women's Day was established.
I guess I would just say, like, it was really cool to see the different women, especially the women from Harstad community, who I know and I've gotten to know as friends, but then it takes it to a whole nother level, especially tonight, to see them perform and really empower themselves, and to see that is really empowering to all of the rest of us. So it was a cool event to be a part of.
Be sure to check out the calendar in the UC to find out what else is coming for Women's History Month. The Women's Center also celebrates Women's History Month with the Celebration of Inspirational Women, where students, staff, and faculty are encouraged to submit names of female-identifying Lutes whom they find inspirational. We asked Lutes who they think should be nominated.
I like Dr. St. Clair. She's a good one. She's my friend, and she helps me with economics. Teaches economics. Yeah, and she's a very boisterous personality, and it's infectious. Is that how you?
I would totally agree with that. She loves her job, and she makes us enjoy learning.
I would have to say probably Professor Barnes. I think she's inspirational because actually she convinced me that I could pass this really hard science class that I thought I wasn't good at, but she inspired me because I want to be an occupational therapist, and she said, you can do this, and she was really helpful in office hours and said you can do anything you put your mind to, so
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
So I think that Melissa Williams, the resident director of Harstad, is wonderful at empowering other women. Obviously, she is the resident director of Harstad, which means that she is in charge of putting together certain events within Harstad that relate to International Women's Day and other things that are really trying to empower women.
The Women's Center is accepting nominations until Thursday. Be sure to attend the celebration the following Thursday in the Scandinavian Cultural Center at 5:30 p.m. Snacks, sweets, and entertainment will be provided. This year's Bugge-Harstad Memorial Lecture is coming soon. This Monday, March 14 at 7 p.m. in the Scan Center, Dr. Hege Finnlot of Oslo will deliver a lecture of the role of national identities in a rapidly changing world. Be sure to be a part of this learning experience. While the national political scene has been roaring on for the past several months, ASPLU is having their own election very soon. On March 17th and 18th, Lutz can vote for either Ellie Lapp and Taylor Bozich or Austin Bierman and Elizabeth Hamry to decide ASPLU's next president and vice president. Anyone attending PLU can vote, including seniors. Before making that decision, though, be sure to go to the ASPLU debate on March 14th in the Cave at 6 p.m. ASPLU potential presidential elects aren't the only ones that have been busy lately. First-year Senator Hayden Brunell recently held a town hall meeting to discuss accessibility on campus. The Mask's Eric Zayas was there to report.
Monday, February 22nd, ASPLU held a town hall forum for the PLU community to discuss issues of accessibility on campus. First-year Senator Hayden Brunell ran the meeting with over 30 students and faculty in attendance.
Yeah, so the town hall was designed for students and staff to come to talk about accessibility on campus. I knew ever since October that it's been a big issue on campus, and only as a first year I wanted to get this addressed so that way by the time I'm a sophomore, junior, senior, I can start seeing results.
Those in attendance shared problems and proposed solutions to issues of accessibility on campus.
There's just a lot of random physical things on campus. They're just like, that's not very accessible. Like the whole puzzle of getting from upper campus to lower campus, if you need elevators or if you can't get down Hinderley Hill, it just seems kind of cringeworthy. A lot of doors aren't handicap opening either. For example, that basement door in Harstad, I mean, it's a kind of a grungy entrance area, but I think the bigger issue there is there's not even a button you can push it to get someone to open the door for you.
The town hall, I think, went great. There were a lot of students that came, more than I had anticipated. And Nathan and Hayden worked really hard together to make sure that this all happened. And I think, coolest of all, Paula Burns, director of DSS, got to come. And that's great to have buy-in from that actual office.
RHA and ASPLU will be starting an accessibility committee to address these concerns. The town hall meeting was a time to engage in dialogue and openly talk about accessibility on campus.
So PLU does a really great job focusing on diversity, but disability status is this identity that we have seemed to kind of neglect a lot in social justice trainings. I've gone through numerous trainings in residential life and student leadership institute, stuff like that, on social justice, and they never even speak about disability status. And disability status is actually the #1, statistically largest minority in the United States. So it is something that affects a lot of people and that needs to be talked about. So I think, having a lot more conversations about it and a lot more educational trainings about things like person-first language, how to address different ability statuses the right way, and just talking about it in general, I think is really important.
I think it was good, but I think these are things that people are just already aware of, so it's at least for me, it's just a matter of like when are these actions gonna act and solutions actually gonna happen? Are we gonna wait like another 10 years or whatever for this, just simply the sidewalks to not be trippable, or I don't know if that's a word, but yeah, it's just a matter of I think honestly we're moving really slow, and I don't really know what to say about that either, but what is supposed to happen now? We just have this meeting and then, so.
For more information regarding upcoming changes to accessibility, contact Disability Support Services. And if you have a topic that you want to hear discussed, contact ASPLU for more. We have all heard about the sale of KPLU to the University of Washington. However, there is still hope that the station will remain in the community. A community group called Friends of 88.5 FM has been given the opportunity to pay KPLU $7 million in exchange for the FCC rights to the radio station. The community movement will try to raise $7 million by this June 30th, and this fact has not stopped KPLU supporters from donating. Last week, they raised $200,000 in 6 days. Their next fundraiser is a talk on March 16th at 7:30 in Seattle. Now they have raised millions of dollars, almost to their goal, and if you would like to donate or learn more, please go to kplu.org. Up next on News at 9, we've got Terrence Take, Late Night, and the Philharmonic. But first, here's a sneak peek at Hebrew Idol 2016.
Tonight with Arts and Culture, we take a look at a recap of Late Night, our guests, the Philharmonic, and more. I'm Paris Franklin, and this is News at 9. Last week, we had the chance to meet with Taryn from Taryn's Take to get a 60-second update on everything pop culture. Let's see what she had to say.
The full Taryn... okay, now I'm ready. The full Taryn's Take report for February was just last week, but since then there's been an insane amount of events in pop culture and celebrity, so here's the brand new Taryn's Take 60-second summary. First up, there's no other way to start this than with Kesha. Kesha is a singer of that half auto-tune pop, half rap hit TikTok a few years back. In October 2014, Kesha accused her producer Dr. Luke of 10 years of sexual and verbal abuse. In her lawsuit, she claimed that he repeatedly drugged and raped her, and that her verbal abuse is what led to her eating disorder she went to rehab for. On Friday, New York Supreme Court Justice Shirley Kornreich ruled against Kesha's request to get out of her contract with Sony, saying it was typical for the industry. Because of that, Kesha is stuck to do another 6 albums with Sony, but doesn't have to work directly with Dr. Luke. Almost every woman in the music industry has come out to support her, and I think we all should as well. On top of that, Kim Kardashian finally released the first photo of her son, Saint West. I started to think he didn't exist. Zayn Malik debuted his second solo single, It's You, and Mob Wife star Big Ange died peacefully of cancer. Looks like my 60 seconds is up, so I'll see you next time.
From the Grammys to the Oscars and everything Kardashian related in between, Terrence Take always keeps us up to date. Tune in later this month for the full video of music releases, celebrity achievements, and more. Last Thursday, we had our second live episode of Late Night hosted by first-year Sam Ellefson. We had 2 special musical guests, Piper Foulon, the winner of this year's PLU Idol, and the a cappella group The Philharmonic. Sam shared laughs, news, and a game of Poop the Potato. If you missed this broadcast, you can watch it live at massedmedia.plu.edu under the Mass Media Late Night tab. Watch, comment, and hopefully we will see you at the next live viewing in May. One of the special guests that stopped by the studio last week were the Philharmonic. Let's take a look. If you missed this event, the Philharmonic is an a cappella group based out of Los Angeles. They have been featured on the NBC show The Sing-Off and in Pitch Perfect 2. Late Night host Sam Ellefson had the opportunity on the show last week to interview them for a live studio audience. The arts and culture editor of The Mast, Brooke Thames, also had the opportunity to sit down with them and interview them as well. Look for The Mast this week for their feature article and watch their performance on massedmedia.plu.edu. Tonight in Arts and Culture, we did some investigative journalism. Kellen Westering took an inside look at what students thought the price of the UC dinner was.
Welcome folks, we are going to interview students at Pacific Lutheran University. We are here at the UC, the cafeteria at this wonderful school. We're going to ask them how much they think it is to cost to get into dinner. The cost is $14.25. Let's see what they say.
I think a dinner costs around $10.
I'd say the price is about $10 to $13.
Dinner costs $14.
$5.
Probably around $9.
I guess it would be like $5.
I guess it's 20.
Well folks, we just saw that the answers vary from $5 all the way up till $20. We can tell that the students at Pacific Lutheran University don't quite know how much it is to swipe in for dinner.
It seems that the students at PLU don't quite know how much it costs to swipe in at dinner. See you next time, Lutz, for Terrence Take, campus updates, and more. I'm Paris Franklin, and this is Everything Arts and Culture. Up next, we have Dylan Foreman with sports.
Check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Hello, Lutz, and welcome back. I'm Dylan Foreman. PLU baseball had a great weekend as they swept Willamette in a 3-game homestand, including a 10-1 victory on Sunday. This brought the Lutz conference record to 5-4, taking them to a big matchup this weekend at Whitworth. Softball played a hectic series with Lewis and Clark this past weekend, which included multiple rain delays, 2 games with extra innings, and another game which was rescheduled. PLU took 2 of the 3 games, including 1 by a dramatic walk-off home run. They prepare to face off at George Fox this weekend with a 4-game series. Track and field opened up with their season with a great showing at the Eric Anderson Icebreaker. 3 Lutz won their events: Amanda Wilson, Charine Stovall, and Brad Hawkinson, with 15 others placing in the top 5 in their events. This Saturday is the annual PLU Open. Events are set to begin at 9 a.m. Men's tennis took their first win of the season this past weekend, beating rival Puget Sound 6-3. Women's tennis had 2 victories as well, edging out Puget Sound 5-4 and College of Idaho 5-4. Both teams take on George Fox this Sunday at Sprinker Recreation Center. Men's golf took second place at the Puget Sound Invitational, led by Mitchell Baldridge, who had a career best round and earned medalist honors. The team compiled a score of 590, the best in recent program history. Men's golf has a long break as they don't compete again until April 10th in Walla Walla. Women's golf snagged 3rd place at the UPS Invitational with a very strong showing from Jenky Jen Axon, who tied for 1st place and medalist honors. Lutz head to Portland this weekend for the Lewis and Clark Invitational. 9 players. We're going to take you to the video now of water polo since I cannot read the text on the thing. We'll be right back.
I like intramural water polo because it's a different way of being active. It's not your normal running up and down a court or a field. You can be active in the pool with your friends.
I like inner tube water polo because it's a different way to be competitive. Like you'd expect people floating around a bunch of inner tubes to not be that competitive, but it gets really aggressive, and I like the competitive nature of it.
First intramural water sport will bring more aquatic sports in the future. If PLU does not offer a sports activity here, please reach out to the recreation coordinator, Rob Thompson. Well, that's all we have for tonight. I'm Dylan Foreman. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again in 2 weeks. Also, tweet us your thoughts to @PLUMass if you have any. See you then.